What's up, everybody? This is Calvin Smith with Angela McCrary. This is my cousin, y'all. Hey, and today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about her journey in music, everything she's experienced from an artist to, what are you doing now?
I'm still doing artist things, but I'm doing more consulting, artist development.
Okay, so this podcast is a platform for people, artists. I'm expanding entertainment from artists to musicians to comedians and even actors. You know, one of those things we're going to be doing. But we're going to go ahead and get this thing started with Miss Angela. Everybody, I want to introduce you to Angela McCrary.
What's up?
All right. How you doing?
I'm good. Yeah. Cool. I don't have any complaints.
Cool. So how's your travels over here? You all right?
It was cool, you know. It's not anything too heavy. I'm one of the people I think that don't really mind driving.
All right. So what I wanted to do today was really just talk about your journey as an artist, because that's kind of how you got started. And we know you're McCrary and you came from the McCrary family, and so that's just kind of ingrained in your blood.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
So tell me, how'd you get started?
Well, I'll start like this. I was the first grandchild on both sides of the family. So as a small child, all of my peers were a few, my aunties and uncles. Mm-hmm. They weren't much older than me, like they were 5 and 7. And they were young kids.
You the one that can tell on a lot of people. You know what I mean? You can tell secrets where the bodies are buried.
Everything. I watched it all happen. I watched it all unfold. But one of the things is that in every house there was a piano. And in the McCrary house specifically, they used to play the piano and sing songs all the time. And I'd be right with them. Yeah. And then they were a part of the BC&M Mass Choir.
I remember that.
They used to take me to choir practice with them.
It's some people, that's old school.
It is
some
so
of y'all.
old.
Y'all don't know. I may end up trying to find some BC&M.
I have it. I found it on Spotify.
Wow,
you better
crazy.
believe me.
Okay.
And they actually have footage on YouTube of Regina singing.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've actually seen that.
It's like she's singing with the BC&M Mass Choir. She's a little girl. So they used to take me to choir practice with them, and they would let me sing and, that kind of thing. And, singing at the piano, it was a singing thing all the time. Mm. And then we would be listening, on Sunday mornings to the radio, and I'd hear my granddaddy singing on the radio. Yeah. So it was kind of like
Sam McCrary, for those of you who don't know. Sam McCrary.
I would hear him singing on the radio, and at first I was confused. I would be like, "Is he at church or is he here?" I didn't really know what was going on. Yeah. But as I got older, I started to recognize, we make music. And at one point I used to think that everybody had a piano in their house, and if I went to your house and you didn't have a piano, I was like, where your piano at? Like, what's wrong with y'all? So it was kind of a normal thing for music to be around me. And then my mom, she played music all the time too. Yeah. And my dad, they just music driven.
They had a band. What was the name of the City
Streets?
I was gonna say City Slickers.
No, it was City Streets, and they were signed. My uncles signed to Columbia Records in the 70s, and I remember watching American Bandstand and hearing their song on American Bandstand. So that was like huge. And on the radio. Yeah. On the radio. On the airways. So I remember that, and remember Donald Ray having a house up the street from the Ackland house. Yeah. He had a house up the street, and they would have band practice up there. So we could walk up there and watch them practice, singing and things like that. And as I got older, one of the biggest things that happened was Regina. My Aunt Regina, she was on tour with Bob Dylan doing background vocals. And she had Tony. Tony was probably about maybe about 3 years old, maybe 3 or 4. And I was at home one day, and she called me. She was on the road, and I always felt special because Deborah lived in Germany. Mm-hmm. She used to call me from Germany, and Gina would call me while she was on the road. And I was a little teenager, so it made me feel kind of, like they ain't forget about me. Mm. Anyway, she called me one day, and she said, "Hey, I want you to get on a plane and bring Tony to me." And I was like, "What?" Wow. She was like, I said, "Okay, when?" She said, "Today." And I was
never knew that.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, so I told my grandma, I was like, "Hey, she want me to get on the plane." So I packed some clothes. My grandma took me, picked Tony up, dropped us off at the airport. We got on the plane, and we flew to meet them on tour. And I think we were with them for a couple of weeks.
Wow.
So I was on tour. That was my first time, understanding tour and what that looked like from behind the scenes, and the people. And Bob Dylan.
That's all right, yeah. That's podcasting. Yeah. Ain't nothing.
Bob Dylan. I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
Just to be fair, I didn't know who he was, and honestly, it was like stadium tours. So it wasn't like a small venue or a Ryman. It was like multiple thousands of people. Yeah. And I couldn't understand anything he was saying. I was like, what did he say? I couldn't understand anything he was saying. But the people loved him.
But that experience was like a cool experience for you.
It was an experience that just kind of said, "Oh, that's what you do," or "That's what this job looks like."
So did that open up the door for you to say, "Hey, I wanna sing too. I wanna do this"?
I always wanted to sing.
Yeah.
But I was deterred from it because when you have. My mother was a nurse, and I know she meant well, you know what I'm saying? And most people, if their children are into the arts, they're like, "Oh, that's nice, but you need something to fall back on," which made me feel like I wasn't good enough. You know what I mean? And it just kind of, shattered my self-confidence to a certain degree. Like, she don't believe in me.
I think sometimes, people mean well when they do that, but they don't know how to explain the backup plan. Yeah. And what I mean is like, hey, while you have this dream, vision, destiny, whatever you want to call it, we still got to pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what it is, but it makes it feel like, hey, you're trying to stop me from,
It made me feel like she thought I sucked.
Really?
Yeah. And here's the thing. When I was in middle school, they did a music aptitude test for the entire school. Mm-hmm. And I scored the highest score out of anyone, which should have told her then she's got something. And she didn't pour into that. She was like, "Oh, okay, you want to play the flute? Okay, you can play the flute." And it was kind of that kind of thing, like, "Here you go." It wasn't like encouraging, like, "Oh, yeah, well, she likes to sing. Let's, encourage that." None of that. My first public performance outside of that was in the 7th grade when I sang "After the Love Is Gone."
Really?
Me and Lisa Montgomery, my friend, when we sang "After the Love Is Gone," the school chorus teacher learned the song and allowed us to do it for the school, which was cool. So it was other people that really kind of encouraged me to yeah, you got a voice, you should.
So was that the first time? So you're out front, you're singing now, and it's like, this is where I belong. This now I want to do this, but I belong here.
I just feel like it's a part of who I am. I don't know if that is a belonging feeling. It's just a part of my makeup and who I am as a person. Mm-hmm. It's not something that I cannot do.
Yeah.
it's just, I'm either going to be singing, listening to music, making music. It's just a part of who I am as a person because I grew up in that surrounding. It is embedded in my energy. Mm-hmm. It's embedded in my energy and in my spirit. I believe that music is what they say. It's a universal language. Yeah. And it can move people to better places. It can also, send people to not so great places. Yeah. But it's a powerful instrument and tool to have. And I just embrace that as part of my makeup.
You know what? The thing about music, right? That's amazing to me is you can take classes. I don't care what level you're doing it, and you study and you don't remember stuff later on. But with music and song, all somebody has to do is just play it. It takes you back to the year, what you were doing, who you were with, and you remember all the words.
This is true.
How does your mind work like that? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy
true.
To me.
It's nostalgic and sonics. Yeah. The phonics of sonics really works with your mind to help you retain things. And I discovered that as an adult when I was teaching school. Mm-hmm. And I was teaching pre-K. Yeah. And my kids, I purposely wanted to teach kids that looked like me, that were at risk. And I wanted to help them the most because I had been in other schools and I could see where they had all the advantages, where the little kids were excelling because they had so much more than some of the black kids. Yeah. They didn't have nothing. So I wanted to be where they were. And that was my way of giving back.
Is that when you start doing the, what was it where you had a music program?
I did.
Tell me for everybody who don't know what you were doing, tell me about that.
It started when I started teaching school because I was teaching pre-K and my little pre-K kids, they were 4 years old. They could say every cuss word. They could say every cuss word perfectly fine, but didn't know their ABCs. And I was like, this is crazy. How can they know every cuss word but not even know their ABCs? They could sing any song off the radio, but they didn't know how their ABCs or how to count, just simple things. Yeah. So I started doing the ABCs when they would come in. I started doing the ABCs. I made a beat for it. Okay. And so they loved it. And every day they'd come in and go, let's do the ABCs.
Okay.
So we would do the ABCs. And then I was like, wait a minute, I'm on to something here. I could literally use music to help them retain at least the words. The visual was a whole nother thing. You had to start pointing it out so that they could identify the letters. But that was the beginning of that. I was like, I think I'm on to something. So I taught for 3 years, and then I resigned from the Metro Public School System because I didn't like the grown-ups. The grown-ups were giving me up. I digress. But
so is that when you started?
I started interested in music program,
and that's where you were teaching them producing.
Well, yeah, that's where I started. I had been giving vocal lessons and piano lessons. My mother can play the piano. She was an accomplished pianist.
I did not know that. Yeah. I didn't know that.
My mother is an accomplished pianist. Like, she was off the chain.
Miss Belinda?
Yeah. She could sit down and play anything. So when I was 8, I wanted to learn how to play. She sat me down. She showed me the fingering. She gave me a book. Showed me all the staff. She taught me all the basics. Gave me that book and was like, when you finish this one, I'll get you another one.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of like, going through the motions of learning music theory on my own. And then I would graduate to another book and another book and another book. So I did that. Back then, I knew how into it I was when I was learning. And so I was like, I can do this. I can help kids. And I can use music to help them because not only will it help them retain things, but it's counting. There's math in music, and all the science of movement, and all of those things were in music. And I was like, and it can be fun. It can be fun for them to learn and exercise. So I started the inner city music program, and it got picked up by the Preston Taylor Boys and Girls Club, which is also a YMCA.
Yeah.
So it got picked up as part of their summer curriculum. So the first time I did, I got the contract, and I was like, okay, it's showtime. And the first year I did it, it was a huge success because the kids did everything. They did the artwork. They wrote their verses. I had other producers around town or beat makers to donate beats. I let the kids pick the beats. They were able to choose and select everything on their own. And it grew to the point where the last year we did it, we actually did videos, like 106th and Park. We did videos, so we let the teens do videos. It turned out really, really good. But every summer, they would leave with a CD of the songs that they had written with their artwork and everything. And at the end of the program, the 2 weeks before the end of the program, I would take them to Ocean Way Studios on Music Row so that they could go and have a professional studio experience. And they would donate, the Ocean Way would donate that day. And I'd all day be recording kids all day long in and out. So it turned out to be really good because now those kids are grown. And I was at a restaurant one day, and this man tapped me on the shoulder with a beard, and he was like, "Are you Angela?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm Angela." He was like, "I knew it was you. You took me to the studio." He was like, "You took me to the studio when I was at the Boys and Girls Club." And I was like, cool. "Oh my God." I was like, "Well," I said, "Sweetheart, I don't remember you because you have a beard now, and it's hard for me to place your face now. You are all grown up, but yeah, that's me." So that to me let me know that I did something good because those kids will always remember that, and I was able to affect some lives. Then I went on to become the director of music for the Salvation Army, and they did not have a music program in their East Nashville location. So partnered with the Country Music Association, and who else was my partner? Leadership Music.
Okay.
Rocket Town was one of my partners. I worked closely with all of them. And
you created.
I built a year-round music program from scratch.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they didn't have any music program. So we did music, a year-round program. I implemented the recording portion of it for the summer. But during the school months, we would learn music theory. They could play any instrument they wanted. Belmont was also one of my partners because I hired Belmont students to come in and teach different instruments. So if my Belmont students knew how to play the guitar, that was their thing. They would work with other kids and teach them guitar.
Did you only use Belmont? Did you use MTSU?
I tried to use Tennessee State University was who I really wanted. I wanted Belmont students, but I also wanted Tennessee State University students, and there was some bureaucratic crap going on, and it just didn't pan out that way. But I loved my Belmont students. I would try to get them when they were freshmen because a lot of the at-risk kids, they struggle with structure sometimes.
Could they relate to them a little better because they were younger, maybe the same age? Or
no, it was a thing of I wanted consistency.
Gotcha.
I didn't want somebody that was going to be in and out of their life. So I wanted a freshman student. And if this freshman student worked out, they called me. They called me and said, "Can I come back?" And that's, I was like, of course you can. It's like, yeah, just come on back. And, I didn't have to continuously hire different people all the time because my Belmont students wanted to come back and they would stay with me until they graduated, which was great. It was awesome. They were able to develop a rapport with the children. It was a good thing, and that they had their own relationships with the kids, so it worked out really well. I'm so grateful I had the opportunity to do that, but I worked with kids for a long time between Metro Public Schools, the Boys and Girls Club, and the Salvation Army, and then just giving private piano lessons and voice lessons. It's about 23 years.
All right, so
that's a long time.
So now I'd like to kind of pivot and switch to Angela McCrary, the artist.
Angie Max.
Yeah. Angie Max, is that what it's called? Angie Max?
Angie Max.
Okay, Angie Max. Angie Max to the fifth power, y'all.
Angie Max. Girl. Angie Max is, she's always existed.
Yeah.
Beside Angela McCrary.
Gotcha.
She's always been there. She's never gone anywhere. Angie Max, Angie Max was able to do a lot of things. So when I was 15, I had my first gig, paying gig, on Sunday nights at Park Avenue.
I'm going to find some of you. Go ahead. I'm going to find Angie Max. I'm going to find your music. Yeah.
So
we're going to play.
I had my first gig, 15, had to have a chaperone.
Okay.
And I got paid. I was getting paid to do what I wanted, which was sing. Then, fast forward, I graduated high school and all of that. I actually sold a song to Cassie Gardner.
Okay.
So, and he took me and my best friend to my first music conference. So my first music conference, I'm meeting everybody. I'm meeting Boys to Men and Kumo. They had dinner with Kumo.
This is crazy. I'm learning like all of this stuff about you that I never even knew.
Well, good. I went to the he took us to Atlantic City, New Jersey in a limousine. Picked us up in a limousine. We drove all the way to Atlantic City, New Jersey for the Impact Convention. So I was there and I was meeting all of these celebrities. Like, they're superstars now. Boys to Men, they were just like really starting out when I met them.
All right.
So it was Boys to Men. And I had another friend by the name of...
I have to cut you off. Y'all can find Angie Max on, what is it, SoundCloud? You got a whole project on SoundCloud. So you get a chance, go to SoundCloud, look up Angie Max.
Yeah.
All right.
It's ANGIMAXX too, because people get confused. Okay,
that's why I couldn't find it, because I did it different.
Because my mom never spelled my name with an E.
Okay.
She always spelled it ANGI, so I just...
I'm finna ride. I'm finna press ride, and we gonna ride.
We gonna ride.
We gonna ride. All right. All right, there it is.
Are you ready for this?
Now, I remember you were recording stuff, but I never knew you had stuff on. You may have told me, but I never knew.
So, during my journey of Angie Max, I was able to work with a lot of people.
Okay.
A whole lot of people. I was able to open up for Pieces of a Dream. I was able to work with Me Fi Me, and I don't know if people remember him from the late 80s, early 90s. I was able to work with Young Buck. Different people. Walter D., the Blow Pop crew. I was able to sing backgrounds. At one time, I was that girl that they hired to do all the female parts on any track. So I was working. I was making money. I didn't have like a regular job. Yeah. So if I needed extra money and it was rough getting sessions, I would just work for a temporary service because I knew getting a regular job would stop me from being able to pick up my bag and go when that call came. You know what I'm saying? So I just worked it out that way. But there came a time where I was in New York and I was trying to find my way. Then I went from New York to L.A. Torrance, California. I was trying to find my way to where do I want to be. And then I was at home one day and these friends of mine came and said, we're going to Atlanta. I picked up a bag and went to Atlanta, and I ended up working for Diamondback Productions down there, writing songs for their production house.
Yeah.
And that was Ramil Robinson. He was a professional basketball player. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm down there and meeting more people, and networking, but also realizing at that time, Atlanta didn't have what Nashville had. Mm-hmm. There was a ton of studios up here.
Explain it, because some people hear you say that and they'll say, well, hey, it's Atlanta. And because in the 90s, 2000s,
yeah,
Atlanta blew up.
They did. It was the beginning of them blowing up, but they weren't blowing up fast enough. Yeah. And I'll say it like this. When I got to Atlanta, I wasn't in a situation where I was trying to make it. I got into Atlanta and I was plugged in.
Gotcha.
So I was at a party at Dallas's house, or I was over here with Colorado, and I was plugged in. Mm-hmm. So I was moving around in these circles of people, but there were not as many places to go record as it was in Nashville. It just, at that time, it wasn't. There probably is now. Is
that why people start moving here? Because that's one thing I noticed over the years. Like, major artists start moving to Nashville.
I think so.
Because of the convenience of recording studios.
Man, and not only that, it's the level of professionalism. Mm-hmm. There's a level of professionalism that studios, engineers, musicians have here in Nashville that other places they be on some sideways kind of stuff, like too high, too drunk, not really knowing how to run things, how to run a studio in a professional way to really capitalize on the time that you have, because you paying for hours. You know what I'm saying? It's like you paying an engineer to come in and you don't want an engineer that doesn't know how to troubleshoot a situation.
So when you were in Atlanta, is that when you finally got to the point where you wanted to start producing? I know you said you were writing.
I had always been.
So you were producing the whole time?
I had always been writing songs. Yeah. So I never stopped writing songs. What made me want to produce was I was in a relationship with somebody and we were making music together.
Okay.
And the relationship fell apart, so they want to keep the music. And what recourse did I have? And it wasn't just that particular romantic relationship. It was other relationships that I had been in, and noticed that every time I'm at the mercy of some dude.
Nothing was copywritten, or
oh no, it was It wasn't that it wasn't copywritten. It was just the hassle of trying to get my music back from them.
Gotcha. You know, because they had the masters.
Yeah, okay. It's the hassle of that. Yeah. Situation. Yeah. I paid you, but you know what I mean. It's like I'm trying to get my music, and you mad. You mad at me because I won't do what you want me to do.
Yeah.
And it didn't have nothing to do with music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if I did do what you want me to do, you use that situation until you went on to the next chick.
Yeah.
And so it was always a conflict that had my music so tied up in the middle. Yeah. So the last time it happened, I was like, I prayed about it. I was like, God, how can I stop this from happening? Because it's heartbreaking to put the work in and then have your work be compromised by personal crap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like, I prayed about it. I was like, what can I do? And the answer was do it yourself. I don't know how to do it myself. And I was like, I can go to school and learn. So I ended up wanting to go to school. And I said, well, I'm going to go back to school. I had already been at TSU. I went for 3 years for business marketing before I, dropped out of TSU.
Yeah.
And was like, I'm already working, doing what I want to do. But I went for 3 years for business marketing, so I had a few of those classes. I was like, I'm going to go to another school. And I found SAE.
Yeah.
And I ended up.
I don't know. It went to some other music. That ain't Angela McCrary.
That was not me.
Yeah, that's why I was like, wait a minute. Who is that right there?
That was not me.
Yeah. Okay, feels so good. We're back. Go ahead.
Anyway, so yeah, after our breakup, I was just like, I'm gonna go to school and learn how to do it myself.
Yeah.
And a crazy thing is that my first week of school, I missed the entire first week because my mother was in a car wreck and ended up in the ICU. So during that week, I had forgot. I was like, oh, wait, I was supposed to start school this week. So I had to, go to school and sit in class and get tutored because I had missed the entire first week of school and the program was only 9 months. Yes. So any missing, you behind.
Yeah.
So
you had to catch up.
I had to catch up. It was probably one of the best things I ever did for myself because it opened up a whole new world, new doors opened up. Part of the reason that I was able to do the children's music program was because I already had that skill set that I could record. I knew how to record, how to mix, how to engineer, how to produce. Without that schooling, I would have been at the mercy of someone else to do it, Yeah. So I was able to do that myself. Also was able to do and become the director of music for the Salvation Army for the same reason, because I had that. And also, I was a grown-up, and I had negotiation skills because I've been negotiating my whole life since.
So when you were doing that with the Salvation Army, and were you teaching them the actual business part of the music industry, or was it just producing and doing the studio?
There was a little bit of the business part, and that was important because some kids don't want to sing or rap.
Yeah.
So I had to let them know Beyonce is not Beyonce by herself.
Yeah.
It takes a whole team of people to help that product come to light. You don't have to sing. You could draw.
Yeah.
Can you draw?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then you do the artwork. You know what I mean? Because we need the artwork for the CD cover.
Yeah.
So they are included, but they have an understanding that they don't have to be out in the front to be able to shine and work. When we did the videos, the kids did the filming. We put a camera in their hands. It was like, well, you're going to film it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we involve them in every part of it so that they can have an understanding of teamwork and how things come to fruition. It's not just, one camera and one person and one person does all the work. No, it takes a whole team of people. So in that aspect of the business, that's as far as we really went in that, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't really go in deep into publishing or artist rights or any of those kind of things. No, I think that was a little above their station at that time because I'm working with the youth now, so like little kids. But we did teach them instrumentation, drums. I had 2 students that got church gigs because I taught them how to play the drum and one to play the keyboard.
Wow. Okay.
They got church gigs, so they were able to get paid. That's one of the proudest things. And then I had one student who wanted to sing. She got a full ride to Belmont. A full ride. I couldn't be more proud, like I had a hand in that. I had a little something to do with that. I opened that door for them, and they went through it and really made it their own and a part of their journey.
Yeah. So what do you think about like the way music is not just being produced today, but because of the implementation of AI into music and producing and how that's working?
Well, I've been in heavy discussion and research about it, and I think it's here to stay. It's nothing you can really do to get rid of it.
Yeah.
I think some of it kind of sucks because I've been dabbling with different AI vehicles, just trying to see what is it all about? What can it do?
Yeah.
And how can I use this and work with it instead of fighting it? And I think that in the process of that, it can be challenging, because some people might feel intimidated that they're not needed anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I think also that there's a human element to it that cannot be replaced.
Yeah.
There's a human element. You're not going to be able to replace it with AI.
Mm-hmm. So on that part where you can't replace the human, AI, what it does, it learns from us. And the more we use that, it basically copies, mimics, and that's how it's doing what it's doing, because it's constantly learning. But it doesn't come up with like original thoughts. And that's the one thing when it comes to the human element that will never be replaced, because AI was an innovation for somebody. Somebody created that,
That's right.
But AI was not an original thought where AI produced itself.
Right.
So the thing about humans and what we do, you basically just tell it what you want it to do. You know what I mean? And then it kind of, like I told you, I used it and I was impressed with it, but I had to feed it like all the thoughts and processes of what I saw in my mind and what I wanted it to do. Now, I was impressed because what it gave me, I was like, you know what? I probably would have never put it that way or processed it that way. And it was really good information, but it was my original thought that was fed into AI. And that's why I was able to get that information. Now, did it learn from it? Because
of course it did.
I felt like, well, nobody's doing this, you know.
But of course, it's learning. It's a sponge. It's going to continue to learn, just like what you said. Yeah. So there's a side of me and other creatives that I've been speaking to, and how you use AI is going to make, it's going to continue to learn, but how you use it is going to be important, you know. So you can use, in my thought, you can use it to help you if you have a writer's block. You know what I mean? Like if you stuck on a lyric.
Yeah.
It could give you ideas how to bridge that situation. If you stuck on a drum part,
yeah,
it could give you ideas on how to bridge that situation. Yeah. That's, for me, would be the way that I would use it.
But it doesn't come up with the original, hey, this is how I want it, because you know.
Right.
But AI doesn't.
Exactly. So that is how I would that's how I would utilize it. You know, it's not to create my whole song.
Yeah.
Because if I'm being honest, I'm not I'm impressed with, I don't know. I don't really like it that much. The songs that I have, created using Suno, ChatGPT, and another one called Tune, Tunee.
Yeah.
The songs that I've created, they all kind of like, I don't know. It's like I'm looking for a certain thing and it's not giving it to me.
I think
it's
one
not
of the things,
giving me what I'm what I'm looking for.
But one of the things it's doing, because it's taking what people are putting out, and probably the most popular people, right? And they're basically copying that style or whatever else. So what happens is everything starts sounding. We got that problem already today.
Yeah.
Everything sounds the same.
And here's the crazy part is I put it in 3 different mediums, and all 3 of the songs sound like the same girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
The same instruments. And I was like, this is not what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So for me, it hasn't been a tool that I feel like I could rely on to create a whole song. Yeah. I can't do it because this don't sound like anything that I would ever make in my life. It did not sound like it sounded very it just it sounded the same.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I ain't gonna use none of this.
Well, if you look at like industry, what they call industry standards, right? And so they'll tell you what they want stuff to sound like because they say, hey, this is what sells, this is what works, or whatever else. But it's always that person that comes up with that next original thing that's popping. And then what happens is everybody jumps on the bandwagon because that was the original thought, the original style, the original whatever. And if it works, people jump on board. So from my perspective, I'm like, just be original. Come up with your own thing and be original, and then you put out whatever it is. Now, of course, AI is going to probably copy it, you know, and
They
everybody else will
but
too.
The thing is that in my discussions with other producers, the way that you speak to the AI mediums is that it's gonna matter. The way what the instructions that you give them is really the prompt engineering, as it's so called. It's gonna matter. It does matter. So the way that we've been talking about it, like to get what we want out of it, is very specific. Yeah, extremely specific. So you have to know like what bar you want it to start in, or what key it needs to be in. You know, those kinds of specifics that we are using to create what it is we're looking for. But you have to really design those prompts so that it can spit it out, or you just gonna be wasting your time. You could have played it yourself by the end, or you could have hired some. That was the other thing, is like, you know, I need this Rhodes to be in, you know, I need this part to be played. I want a Rhodes tremolo sound, and the key of A, and, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah. Do you need a keyboard player? You know what I'm saying? That was, do I need a keyboard player, or can AI spit that out for me? Yeah. It's a possibility that they can spit out something close to it. But that's why I say that the human element is not null and void, because it probably won't be able to give me exactly what I'm looking for. And a true keyboardist colors different from the next keyboardist. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Some of the stuff I've been listening to it and following it, and I called you and asked you about it, but it's kind of like, and that's what I started looking at, like the creativity part. It's just not original. They're everything. I'm listening to producers, and I'm like, man, they're putting out the same type of style when they're when people putting those ideas out. And I was like, so at some point, it's gonna continue to learn, but at some point, it's like you said, it's however you prompt it to do whatever, giving it the different styles, keys, or tempos, or whatever else. And I was just like, this is like, after a while, everything's just gonna sound generic. You know what I mean? It's kind of like in the 80s when music flipped from live to now everything is digital with the you know, stuff you use in the studio. It's better now, but when you look at music in the 80s, there was a shift. And it went from live, everybody had their own style, you knew who everybody was, to now, everybody sound like each other.
Right, that's true. I didn't even really think about it that way, but that's true. And, you know, one of the things that's happening in Nashville that I'm loving is that all of these different people that are hosting these jam sessions, if you haven't ever been to any of them, you should definitely go.
I have not.
Oh my gosh. The creative energy, the creative community here is amazing. Yep. And it's a great blend. It's not just a white or a black or a country or a soul or a R&B or a rock. It's like a blend of everybody, like a melting pot.
But and it's not music is universal. It's like a universal language that everybody can speak.
Exactly. Yeah. And so these jams, they will have like a tuba and a flautist, and you know, and they come in and they jump in and get in where they. It's incredible. Some of the music that I've heard, and some of these young people are so extraordinarily talented, you know, which kind of brings me to where I am now because of my situation and my journey along with being director of music for the Salvation Army, I ended up managing.
Yeah.
Being artist manager.
Yeah. So how has that? You've transitioned from artist to producer to manager.
I know, right? It's not something I ever thought I would do. I was literally thrown in the fire.
Yeah.
I was called. I got a phone call asking if I thought I could help and could I step in. And I was like, yeah, I can probably help you. And it turned into a journey where I was thrown in the fire. Mm-hmm. I was literally thrown in the fire, learning on the fly. Grateful for all of the things that I learned. Mm-hmm. But the most important thing that I learned is that I hated it. Yeah. I was like, I hate this. I don't like it.
So out of all three things, from artist to producing to managing, which one do you like the best and why?
I love production. I love mixing. I love creating. Yeah. I love the creative process. Yeah. I'm in love with the creative process. Mm-hmm. I love being able to hear. I have a song in my head every day. Yeah. It could be silent in the house, but there's a song in my head somewhere every day. I'm continuously blessed to have music float around in my mind all the time, even in silence. Yeah. I got to get it out. So having the ability to be able to get that out, is great. You should see my phone. My voice recorder is full of them. It's full of them. I ain't even gonna lie. I got a whole bunch of ideas. So it's just like, I got this idea song in my head. Yeah. I just pull out my phone, do a voice recording, and then I'll go to my studio and try to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how is this supposed to move? Or, where is this going? That kind of thing.
So how do you go about when you do bring like-minded singers, musicians together, and there's a session? Mm-hmm. What's the writing process for you when you got more than just you?
Okay.
How do you conduct
Well,
that?
The truth is, the writing sessions that I'm usually in have been very relaxed. Okay. And it's a thing of somebody said something. Yeah. And we just build on it. And then having ciphers. Yeah. Having ciphers has always been a great vehicle to be able to create. You know what ciphers are?
You explain it to me. Because I'm not going to say I do. I went to public school, y'all.
So did I.
I know, but hey, when I don't know, I'm just like, I'm going to be honest. I'm like, because I could have said, yeah, I know what it is.
Let me turn this phone on. Yeah. Okay, so.
And then you could have caught me.
Ciphers are like just a gathering of creatives. Yeah. And, you might be playing one of the things that we used to do. I was in a group called the Neck Bones. And
Not the neck bones.
NEKBONZ.
Hip bone connected to the
neck.
Yeah.
Bone. We was
Okay.
Yeah, we was we actually did a whole album. Okay. The Neck Bones did that never really got released. Okay. It's one of the.
Do you have it? Or do you have control of it?
I don't have control of it.
Okay.
Let's say that.
All right.
But we did a whole album, and we had we worked in a studio called the Sweet Spot. Okay. And so.
Is that in Nashville?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, the studio doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
That particular studio doesn't exist. That property got bought, and now it's like apartments. Gotcha. But when we were there, we would go, and like on a Friday, instead of going out, people would come over, we'd get some food, we'd have drinks and things like that, and we would play instruments. Mm-hmm. Even if you didn't know how to play, we would just like pick 3 notes or 3 chords, and we would rock with that, and then we say switch, just in the middle of it. Yeah. And you go to the next instrument.
Oh, okay.
Even if you've never played it before.
Okay, that's dangerous.
It was fun. It was
fun.
It worked out okay. Because it forced you to kind of get in. You either got in or got up and let somebody else take your place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But for me, I didn't play the drums, but during that process, I learned how to hold pocket.
Yeah.
You know, I learned. I was like, okay, I can do it. I fill in, but up, bump, bump.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
But had it not been for that process, I probably never would have picked up drumsticks.
Yeah.
But it helped me to learn, drums. It helped me to learn bass. I learned that I have a bass.
Yeah.
I have a jazz bass. I love the bass. It helped me learn guitar. Yeah. You know, it helped me learn all of those other instruments. I already played the flute. I played the flute from 5th grade till I graduated. So I played flute and I played piano already. I didn't have a lot of interest in playing any other instruments until we started doing that switch thing. Gotcha. And it was fun. It turned out to be a lot of fun. You find a chord or a bass note, 2 or 3 of them, and you fill in, you know what I mean? You just keep going. And then you switch again. So that was a lot of fun for me. Like, I learned production skills through just doing simple things like that, the placement of instruments and how you need space for them to breathe and be heard, which played into mixing. Yeah. Mixing, you need space for each instrument, frequencies. Yeah. You know, your bass frequency is going to be different from your vocal frequency, and pulling those in and out and how to make those individual instruments have a place and shine on their own, but at the same time blend together. So I enjoy the creative process, which is kind of where I am now. I have my own little studio now, and you know, I'm able to go down there if I'm having any kind of day. I just go down there and mess around and play. I don't have. I think when I was younger, I had aspirations of fame, but after you meet famous broke people, that can change your mind. It's like, that's okay. I don't need the fame. It's like, I just want to be able to make the music. I think more than anything, respect for the art is what I, that's what I want. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you respect it, you ain't got to love it. Because the truth is everybody is not going to like your product. It's art. It is subjective. Everybody's not going to like it.
I've always said, and this is with anything, but with music, you got to find your tribe.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
I don't think we talk enough about that, about finding your tribe. Like, because there's somebody out there, whatever the niche is, if it's not music, whatever it is,
right?
They're out there, and you just got to be able to connect to them, you know.
That's true. I mean, and that's true for every artist. I went to see Picasso. Picasso's artwork, in my opinion, was not my cup of tea. Yeah. It wasn't. But it's famous and people love it, and it speaks to those who understand it. I didn't really understand it that much. It just kind of looked angry and scary to me.
Well, here's the thing with that, right? If I can get anybody famous or important to take this cup and they say it's valuable, you know what I mean? Because we decided that it's valuable. It could be the ugliest thing on the world. People, and it only takes a couple people to buy it to prove this is valuable because we said it was valuable. And now all of a sudden, it's valuable. And people will, because they bought it, people will line up. It's kind of how society works. You know, the majority says something is, even though honestly it's probably not. But because they say it is and they decided that it is, that's how it goes. That's how a lot of music is now.
That's
you got
true.
Executives and stuff that says, hey, this is what's hot, right? And because of how the industry works, everybody jumps on board because, I mean, do they have other tables or other avenues to really do it? You know, so, you know, I'm crazy. I'm like, build your own table. And
well, you and I share that because once you learn that, again, art is subjective, and you accept that everybody's not going to like what you put out, there's a part of you that's like, well, I still got to put it out anyway. Yeah. You know? I'm gonna put it out anyway. If somebody like it, great. If they don't, it wasn't for them. You know, and that's just kind of where I am. I've been in that space for a long, long time. I love music, and everybody's not like me. Everybody don't wake up with a song in their head. I think Aunt Frida told me I was David. She said, "You like David." I was like, "Who's David?" From the Bible? Yeah. I was like, "Who is David?" But yeah, everybody doesn't have that. So that was uniquely given to me. I'm going to use it until I'm in the grave. You hear me? Yeah. I am going to use it. I'm going to use it every chance I get. I'm going to use it. That's why I'm here. And if I can use it to send messages of love and hope and, you know what I mean? Those kind of things. If I can open doors with them, if I can help somebody, then my living ain't in vain. You already know. If I can help somebody along the way with the gifts that I've been given, then my life is not in vain. And it's not about fame. It's not about any of that. It's about how I use my gifts to bless someone else.
I'm going to tell you something that an old gentleman told me, and I've carried this with me everywhere I go. What you do for yourself, you take to the grave. What you do for others, you leave behind. That's what you're remembered for. You know what I'm saying? So that gentleman you was talking about that had the beard and said, "Hey, you're Angie," you know, just whatever. You taught me how to do. But what I'm saying, that's the stuff that you'll be remembered for. It's what you did for other people, not what you did for yourself, because nobody remember that.
Yeah. I agree. So, and that's my prayer, you know, is always to be of service. Like, God, use me, you know, order my steps, show me which way I'm supposed to go, tell me what I'm supposed to say, put me in the room I need to be in to take the next step that you will have me take. You know what I'm saying? I know you know the desires of my heart, but take me where you want me to go. I'm willing. I'm submitting to that. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I live.
Well, I appreciate you coming through because I called you and you showed up. You know what I mean?
I told you I would.
I called you.
You was like, you ain't never came. Hey, I was like, hey man, you ain't never tell me a day or a time. Just tell me the day and time. I'll be there.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you having me. I appreciate us having this conversation because, again, it's stuff that you are learning about me that you say you didn't know.
I did not know. There's a lot of it I didn't know.
That's crazy. That's wild. But I'm glad you know. It's still probably a lot that you still don't know, too. But, you know, we'll get around to it. You know, do we need to do a part 2? You know?
We'll do something else. I mean, we've been there. I know you got other things to do, and I appreciate you coming out. I would like for you, let me turn this down. I would like for you to share your talent with us.
Okay, we're going to do
and sing, and I'm going to have to find that.
You gotta find the song.
No, I got it. I just gotta get on here. That's easy to find. This one, because I know exactly where it's at. Some of the other stuff, and wouldn't that be nice? I had it saved. I got it. Bam. All right. This is what I love about podcasts, because you can pause, you can mess up, you can laugh. It doesn't matter. It's just, it is what it is. But we'll get that. And once this radio is done, I'm ready.
Okay, let's do it. I'm gonna give y'all a little Christmas thing. Don't cause I'm in a Christmas kind of mood, and this is a little low for me, so we're gonna be in the tenor range today.
Well, listen,
we're gonna be in the tenor range today.
I still appreciate you doing it because
I love to do it.
This is okay. I got it right. You let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. So the thing about this is this whole podcast is about, learning about people, how they got started and their history and their journey. But I also want it to be live and people singing and musicians playing, and that'll come later. But she was so gracious to actually come and sing for me. So I want you guys to enjoy Angela McCrary, Angie Max. You can find her on SoundCloud. All right.
And Spotify.
Yeah. Okay, Spotify. My bad.
Yeah,
My bad.
I have one song on Spotify.
All right. So, are you ready?
I am.
All right, let's do this. All right, here we go.
Christmas time is here, happiness and cheer, fun for all that children call their favorite time of year. Snowflakes in the air, carols everywhere. Oh, that we could always see the something I don't know.
That's okay. That's okay.
Sleigh bells in the air, carols everywhere. Yuletide by the fireside, and happy memories there. Christmas time is here, families drawing near. Oh, that we could always see happiness like this.
Come on, finish it up. Bring it home. Bring it home. Bring it home.
It's the solo part. Wait a minute.
Oh, okay.
It's the
Shooby-dooby-dooby-doo.
It's shooby-doo. Shooby-doo-doo-doo. Christmas time is here. Hey, hey, hey. La 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 la. Okay, here we go. In the bridge, it goes
right.
like this. Sleigh bells in the air, carols everywhere. Yuletide by the fireside, and happy memories there. Christmas time is here, families drawing near. Oh, that we could always have such spirits through the years.
All right.
We got through it.
Angela McCrary, y'all. Angela Max.
That was so
Don't
fun.
mess it up. All right.
I messed it up, but who cares?
That's all right.
So fun. It was so fun.
It was. I really appreciate you coming out. I really, really do.
Thank you for having me.
I
I'm
would
so
love for you
grateful
to come back.
be here.
We got to do
I will
this
have to
again.
come back.
And bring your friends.
Which one?
Whoever.
Oh, okay. I'll bring one.
Yeah.
How about I bring one of my other music friends that can do an interview?
Exactly.
It would be dope.
Exactly.
It would be so dope
That's
for
what we're
that to
gonna do.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
well, thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it so much.
Yes.
Yeah, this was fun.
It was.
You cut me off though.
I
I
did.
didn't get to tell all the rest of my story.
I'm sorry you want to keep
no,
going?
no. That's
I'm sorry.
no, that's okay. It's 3:00.
I know you said that's why I'm keeping up with the time, and I know you said you had to. So I was like, hey, my bad. My cutoff game's strong.
It sure is.
It's real strong.
You're so silly. Oh my gosh.
Hey, gotta have it.
You're so
All right.
silly.
So I'm just gonna Angie Max on out.
It's cool. Yeah.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you coming through. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us, and we'll do this.
Thanks for
Wonder
having
Why
me, Calvin
remix.
Smith Productions.
No problem. All right. We're just gonna fade out
my
with Angie
gosh.
Max. It's something you ain't heard in a minute, huh?
Hey.
I wonder why too. All right, y'all take care. And remember this, if you never try, you never will. So stop using excuses and make it happen.
Get to it.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate you coming. Thank you.
I sure believe you said to me. Hey.
All right. They know where to get you now.
They know where to get it.